English Language Test Clinic. Let's bring my guest, which is Emilia. So let me find her for you. How are you guys doing? So you think about it. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you
Brilliant.
hear me?
Yes, I can. Right. Can you? Everything's okay? Yep.
I think so. I hope
Yes.
so.
Okay. So what's this all about? Report overview. Are you talking about the results of English language test results?
No.
Is that what you mean?
No. Overview is one of the most important parts of the report you need to write for Task 1 Academic.
Okay. Got that
Academic IELTS test. Interestingly, new descriptors have just been released on the British Council website.
Oh, lovely.
Yes, it's clear to see. We will. I've given you the link to that website so that everyone can go and see for themselves. So I'm going to talk about it just a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah. So overview is a kind of a messy business in IELTS because very few people understand what it really is. And so I would say about 70% people get it wrong all the time.
Oh, so that's a big percentage, Emilia. So how can students get it right?
So first of all, we need to know what it is and why we're doing it. So the legend says that the overview in IELTS is simply a general description of what's going on with the data.
Right.
And it is okay to say that, and I think everyone will start describing the overview like that. If we leave the candidates, the students, with that kind of description,
yeah,
the overview, they have no chance to get it right. So when writing the task 1, before we start writing anything, we need to have a look at the data and make sense of it. So one of the things, welcome to everyone who's joined.
I'm just waving like crazy. Right, I just want to say, guys, those who are actually watching, do you actually know what Emilia is talking about? If you don't, please tell us, because we're going to keep carrying on with the conversation. But if you don't understand what the hell we're talking about, you need to speak up and tell us, because this time is valuable. It's lunchtime in our part of the woods, so you know every minute is valuable. Right, could you just quickly remind everybody, if you don't mind, what do you mean by overview of the report?
So the overview is a statement, a general statement about it, whatever data you have in showing in Task 1 Academic. So it's a summary. You can think about it as a part of an introduction. You can think about it as an attempt to show your reader. Remember, when writing the IELTS test, when doing the writing test itself, you are communicating with another human being. Writing is communication. And so we need to think about a human being reading that. And so we write the overview for them to have the bigger picture. So logically speaking, when we want to present some data to anyone, first we will give them some sort of an idea of what happened in general before we dive deep into details.
Okay.
That's the overview.
Okay, so in a nutshell, guys, in normal Afsana English, it's basically part of the writing exam, which you take part. You have a big piece of writing, which you're supposed to summarize or something, or rewrite it in your own words.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. So in Task 1 Academic, you need to write a report, which is 150 words long minimum. And you have different sets of data presented. Most of the time, it's numbers in form of a chart, table, diagram, that sort of thing.
Okay. I think you said in a previous live that you may need to talk about maps, and that might appear in the exam. So how would do I need to have an overview when describing a map?
Yes, you do.
Oh,
And this is
okay.
another common mistake that everyone makes. Whatever you need to describe in Task 1 academic, you need
Yeah.
to do an overview. And so I definitely, talk about it at length whenever I meet students for a session when we write together a Task 1. But in general, you want to capture the main trends. You want to see what the pattern is.
Okay.
The good news is, having looked at all sorts of IELTS tasks for many, many years, I can say that usually there are two major trends. There are two major patterns. And when we see them, this is where we can write a good overview and thanks to that, pretty much get a good score.
Right.
Another thing I just want to say, we will not, I really am scared that I'm going to go into full teaching mode in a second. But one thing I want to say to get you everyone started with the overview, look at for those trends patterns. There will be usually two bigger ones. So numbers going up, numbers going down, numbers stable, numbers fluctuating, all kinds of patterns like this. There will be two main ones. And when writing, first you will write a short introduction and then the overview. Don't leave the overview until the end. There is a school which says leave the overview until the end of the report and turn it into some sort of a conclusion. One, we need a conclusion in Task 1. Two, if you put the overview at the beginning, you are sort of following the natural kind of way of looking at things, I think.
Okay.
We first see the bigger picture, then we dive into details. If you dive into details first, it's very difficult to sort of emerge and see the bigger picture again. So you're helping yourself write a better report. You're helping, obviously, the reader make sense of it, which means a better score for you.
Right. So actually where you write it is quite important, because once you start writing about something, you just go deep into the details. So would you recommend writing the overview at the beginning rather than the end?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
and while there are no strict guidelines about it,
but it helps.
What we notice is we go sort of against the grain by, jumping into deep waters and exploring all the details and then trying to sort of go back
to the bigger picture,
and see the bigger picture. It requires a lot of energy. And another thing that happens is when we leave it till last, if you run out of time, you run the risk of not having the overview. And I am looking at those descriptors now. If you want at least band 6, you need to have an overview. So don't leave it till last.
Okay. Well, I was just wondering, I just had this idea in my head. Do you think I could just randomly book an IELTS exam if I just sat it? Would that, because you know my level of English and everything, and I'm from the UK. So basically, for a person who's never ever prepared, okay, what would you say about in terms of their scoring? I know I'm saying something which could be controversial.
I know you have never left education, so I would assume that you have a better sort of understanding, or like you're still connected to how things are done. But I did not recommend taking the IELTS test without preparation. People prepare for their GCSEs, people prepare for their A levels, students prepare for their exams at uni. You need to prepare for IELTS. We have a question.
We have a question from Sultan. Thank you. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum. Emilia, that's for you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, with grammar, I think the best place to start is definitely do a revision of all the tenses and all the sort of basic grammatical structures, and then explore any grammatical devices that are used for formal English. We are going to have a live about formal English in academic tests, but that would be the general direction. So in terms of grammar, that means making friends with the passive voice, and in general all the passive structure, and making and to make sure that you have the capacity to build complex sentence structures. So again, relative clauses is a good start.
Okay.
And
Sultan, I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, and specifically for task 1, since you're asking about grammar, that will be a lot of passive voice. That will be, if you want to describe a process, that will be passive voice and sequencers mostly.
Okay.
If you want to describe data, possibly you know, talking about quantities or amounts and making sure you talk about numbers in the correct way. And back to basics with grammar, make sure subject-verb agreement is okay.
I'm a science teacher. This is getting one ear out of the other. Sultan, if you're listening, please go back and watch this video. It will be uploaded straight away. What Emilia is saying is very valuable. Those who are actually doing English language classes at the moment, your teachers are talking about this all the time. So you should definitely understand. For those of you doing the preparing, you'll know what she's talking about. We've got Oladapo. You said that you'd like to do the test in Nigeria, but you don't know where to go. Just want to say, Oxford, UK Bracket Education, where I'm the CEO of. If you'd like to do the Oxford International Oxford ELLT test, I am their direct partner, so I can give you a discount code. It's accepted at more than 80 universities in the UK. But saying that, there are certain degrees which does require UK VI IELTS or academic IELTS, such as nursing, social work, medicine, dentistry, the obvious ones. Any suggestions about that, Emilia, about booking in Nigeria?
All I know, we've had this question before. The best place to start is the official IELTS website, and they have quite a, you know, a very good booking system. You need to click on the country, and I remember seeing quite a lot of centers in Lagos, obviously, but not only there. And so I think you will, something that will definitely require some planning, because it may not be available at all centers at all. I also know that the number of candidates has gone up, so it's definitely a busier season now. So
yeah, it is. According to UKVI, the UK Governmental Department for Visas, we call this time of year the summer surge. Many students just all at the same time are going, because September is the largest intake out of all the intakes. So sorry, I'm next door to the masjid, that's why I can hear that then. But yeah, definitely go to the Oxford. I keep getting my names wrong today. The IELTS website, as Emilia said. Also, if the alternatives are accepted, like TEFL. There's some universities which we accept TEFL. Do get in touch, and of course Oxford, the ELLT test as well. Do get in touch. Right, is there anything else? Anybody else, guys? There's some of you still here, which is very nice of you. DY Plethora, lovely name. Do you have any questions? Thank you, Sultan, for your questions. Anybody else? Harmeed? Okay, well, actually I can see who was still here. Oh, Rosa. We've got Rosalind. That's nice. Right. Any last words or parting words before we go, Emilia?
Don't be afraid of task 1. I am a words person. I am a linguist. I love languages. I love humanities in general. And when I saw task 1 academic, I cried the first time. For it, and I had to take the IELTS test and pass 9, and when I saw task 1 academic, I cried, because I was like,
what is this?
didn't do anything, everything I could to skip maths and all the annoying subjects like physics and chemistry to now be stopped by something like this. It is possible. You need to start by trusting. What helped me was that thought that IELTS was not made to be impossible. And then the next step is you, in terms of task 1 academic, which we're talking about today, if you need to try and make sense out of it yourself, because if you're writing and kind of not knowing what's going on yourself, you cannot hope for a higher score than band 5, possibly.
Valuable words, my friends. In this sea of uncertainty, you need to really, as you can see, you can't just, I thought I could do it. You can't just book it and turn up. It doesn't work like that. There is strategy involved. As you can see, Emilia, she's got her own, I was going to say website, IELTS with Emilia. Please follow her. She's here, very resourceful, and lots of informative content. Please follow her with regards to English language preparation. And that's all I have to say, really. So thank you so much, Emilia. I think I'm a bit lost for words. I have no idea. I'm just not with them. I'm just still jet lagged from last week. But thank you so much for coming. And follow Emilia. Very important. Okay?
If you want to go through the whole IELTS thing. Ola Dopo, I'm not sure if I'm saying your name correctly. I can see you followed. I'm happy to answer your questions about IELTS. Yes, there are 2 types of IELTS. Yeah, just get in touch.
Brilliant. Thank you, Sultan. Sultan said that's a nice way to finish. All in all, don't be afraid. Yes, and I promise you it works in your final exam. Yes, hashtag, Emilia says it all the time, IELTS is for life. Is that what you say?
Yes, I think so.
Like that. Something like that. IELTS isn't just for the exam, it's for life. It does help you. Sultan, he's one of my students is from Bangladesh. As you can see, you don't just need it for the entrance, for the admission. You need it throughout the degree so that you come out the other end with success. We'll leave it there. Thank you so much for coming. If you'd like a UK university admission, just DM me direct. If you'd like a short-term study visa for studying English language for a short period of time, also contact me. I have got direct agencyships with Brighton, Oxford, and one more, Brighton, Oxford, and London. If you'd like a discount code for the Oxford ELLT test, I can give that to you. Just DM me and we'll take it from there. Until next time, my friends, take care. Bye, Emilia.
Formal language next time.
Yes, definitely. Take care. Bye. Bye.